Hello, Toastmasters, most beloved feline lovers, and those of you who hate cats. I know who you are. My significant other says that I am on the slippery slope to becoming OCD. No, not obsessive compulsive disorder. He'd probably be happy about that. Obsessive cat disorder. As though anyone could be too obsessive about cats. Experts say that you should not go to the grocery store when you're hungry. The Surgeon General put disclaimers on cigarettes saying they were bad for your health. I think that all pet rescue shops and all pet shops should have disclaimers that say, do not enter. If you are feeling lonely, if you are susceptible to extreme cuteness, or if you are in need of a cuddle, this means you. It was a cold and dreary day in Redondo Beach. The temperature was hovering around 70. I stepped into the doorway of Cat's BS to get out of the rain. And there, in a black wire cage, was the cutest little fur ball you've ever seen with big blue eyes. I picked him up. He picked up his little white paw and patted me on the cheek. It was all over. I was smitten. I picked up Furball and walked over to the paper warden. She looked at me and said, that one has a brother. They can't be separated.
Oh.
As if on cue, little Furball patted me again on the cheek. And yes, I did leave the store with 2 cats. But that does not mean that I am obsessed. It only means that I like cute and suave. So let the fun begin, and begin again. Begin it did. We had the Indy 500 around the kitchen and around my legs, and the champion cat wrestling ships. Everything was just going swell until the morning I woke up with my face swollen, a rash across my chest, and a constriction in my throat. Oh no, I'm allergic to cats, am I? I've never been allergic to cats before. So off I go to the immunologist. The immunologist says I have good news and bad news. Hooray! I'm not allergic to cats. I am, however, allergic to catnip, fleas, and cat litter. But good news, says the immunologist. You can get those things for a slightly higher price in hyperallergenic form. So yay! On to our next adventure. Now I can turn my attention to the kitties. One of the kitties, who now have become Squeaks and Scamp, seemed to have a little problem hitting his mark. I had been told that they were both litter trained, but Scamps always seemed to kind of just miss. And did I detect a little sneer as he missed his mark? So off we go to the vet, Dr. Part with Cash, who for $780 told me that Scamp had bladder crystals. It was possible to take care of those bladder crystals. He would need to be on special diet at $80 a month for his next 9 lives, which could be bought at her veterinarian shop. Now I see how people end up eating cat food. I kind of see cat food in my retirement. They better be willing to share. Well, with that crisis over, things were once again rolling right along when I suddenly noticed that Scamp, who seems to live up to his name, seemed to be limping. I watched for a day or so, and then I thought, nope, here we go again, off to the vet, where for $680, only they threw in free neutering, I discovered that he had a broken leg. Yeah, seriously, has anybody ever heard of a cat with a broken leg? And they put him in a cast that went from his paw to his cat pit. A bright lime green cast with purple hearts on it. This did not deter Scamp. Scamp and his brother continued to have Indy 500s and continued to wrestle. One day I let them out for a little air. I came outside to check on him. I couldn't find him anywhere. Where could he possibly go with that cast? There, up on top of the roof, was Scamp, unperturbably surveying his domain. Pets also have a way of changing relationships. So significant other and I were going to go on a trip. And then I remembered I had pets. What are we going to do with the cats, I said. What do you mean? Give them extra water, give them extra food, and it'll all be fine. What? Leave them alone? I mean, what if one of them gets a fur ball? They can't text us, you know. It's not like they'll pick up the phone if there's a problem. He gives me scathing look number one. Well, I suppose I could ask my mom to come over. Your mother? She doesn't keep to the schedule. She gives them too many treats, and you know what they're like after she's been here. He gives me scathing look number two, as I say, and besides, I don't want them to turn. Now the Darth Vader death glare. You don't want them to what? You don't want them to turn out like me, he says, as he walks out the door in a huff. Well, this time it turned out okay. He went and spent the weekend with his mother. And the cats and I watched cat flicks all weekend. Madam Toastmaster.
Let's take another minute to give Terry some feedback. And while we're doing that, I think we have another guest. If you would like to stand and what's your name, please?
My name is Amy.
And what brings you here today?
I'm here to work on my storytelling. I'm embarking on a career in public speaking, and much encouragement. I've been encouraged to tell my life story, which is like all of us unique. I have a very important speaking engagement in January, and I'm hoping to get representation prior to that. And I know that speaking is not just, we're magically gifted. It takes a lot of practice, and I had a wonderful experience during doing Toastmasters when I was studying abroad in Australia, and so here I am to learn and get better than everybody. So thank you so much.
Welcome.
And I would also like to do a Story Masters. Is there a? You could tell me after.
Yes.
Why that's different.
Yes. We'll spend some time with you right after this. Or during the break time. We have a break. Our fourth speaker is Carlos McGee. And Carlos is also practicing a speech, a contest speech today. So I'm going to introduce you also as a speech contestant. Carlos McGee. I want to marry him. I want to marry him, Carlos McGee.